Ball State resets things up. As Brady Sally watches on and his team up with their biggest lead of the game and extending it off the Gladcheck bounce.
It's so exciting to see Renee Bennett jumping for joy at, a fellow post player scoring like that, being a mentor to another freshman. That's how freshman post players develop, going against players like Renee Bennett every single day and being able to work on the physicality of the game. So it's so rewarding to see a senior being so appreciative and so excited for a freshman. That's a confidence boost and also furthers her development.
Well, that was the first basket by Gladcheck, the freshman, since the Urbana game. You never necessarily saw Bennett as a mentor, played alongside her as a classmate. But you had several of those post-player mentors in the classes in front of you for Ball State. Names come about like Katie Murphy.
Yep, Katie Murphy. And even though Renee Bennett and I were in the same class, we still had that mentor-type relationship, getting excited for each other, practicing against each other every single day, and, having to guard Natalie Fontaine. That's another mentorship all in its own.
Ball State's all-time career leader in points. You show up to practice and say, well, today's your day, not my day. Ball State out by 5. Monaco trying to make it 7. Monaco struggled to find her shot against Central Michigan, especially from outside of the arc. She finished the game just 3 of 12 in the loss on Wednesday. It was her lowest shooting performance from outside of the arc in 6 games. Her previous 3, had been on the best stretch of the season, shooting 55% from outside of the arc.
I talked about Jill Morrison developing that mentality of, when shots aren't going in, you have to find other ways to do that. You see Mariah slowly coming into that, when shots aren't falling, she's doing other things. She's rebounding. Her rebound numbers have gone up. She's passing the ball a little better. She's running the floor, trying to get those types of looks. So as a shooter, you have to do that in order to be more dynamic and be a threat in other ways.
And those rebound numbers, almost 8 rebounds per game over the last 4. She averages 6, plus 2 on the boards over the past 4 games.
Eight turnovers for Ball State.
18 total for the game between these two. This is Edmonds, a very sneaky, quick player, but misses off the window. Well defended by Grande. Offensive foul on Frazier. You talk about her energy, but sometimes that works in reverse. And high energy player, plays very quick, very strong. Sometimes that's the downside, a little out of control going to the cup.
Yeah, and you're going to get that, especially with how intense she plays all the time. Now, let her regroup, sit down, have the coaches talk to her a little bit. She'll come right back in when they need her, and she'll provide a little bit more of that energy when, there's not as much on the floor. She has her role on the team, and Coach Brady does a great job of utilizing the strengths that she has.
See Morrison face guarding Plyden. That was the plan that Ball State defensively wanted to do.
Another block. She is so long down there and just alters shots.
That's her 10th block of the season. The freshman out of Mukwonago, Wisconsin. You see shades of what Renee Bennett looked like as a freshman.
She's going to be a nice player for Ball State when she develops that mentality and the physicality of being a post player. And if she can shoot like that already as a freshman.
Well, I made the comparison to Renee Bennett. That looked more like you, Shelby Murder, as a post player.
That looked a little nicer, I think.
The only thing that would have made it better had it gone in.
Yes.
That's just her first 3 attempt of the season. She's only attempted 12 shots on the year, 13 now with that 3.
Being a freshman and being in her shoes right now, I remember how much confidence you needed to have in order to even pull the trigger on a shot like that. So I give credit to her for making it look that great and just making it look so fluid.
She's seen a lot of minutes here in the second quarter with an obvious height advantage at 6'5", going against a 5'11" Ricketts. And you see it pay off right there.
Coach Sally looks very satisfied with that move.
Akron hasn't had a field goal in the last 4 minutes as Ball State's extended their lead. Biggest of the game, it's 7. Off the screen, Sefcik launches 3, misses short. Morrison trying to make this a double-figure lead.
Credit that to Carmen Grande. Pushing the tempo and looking opposite. She was on that opposite side, but always had her head up, finding that shooter on the opposite side of the floor. That makes it harder for the defense to adjust, especially in transition, to close out on a shooter like that, coming all the way across the court.
And the issues continue to compound for Akron. Cruz called for a travel inside.
Coach Patterson working with the guards, I remember in my head hearing slice the floor to all of his guards. As soon as they start pushing the ball in transition, they want to slice it across the court, get to that opposite side, hopefully shift the defense and have action on the opposite side.
Gave Grande her 5th assist of the afternoon. A team high, averaging the 4th most in the country up to this point. She can shoot from outside. What a nice little stretch for the sophomore point guard out of Madrid, Spain. She has 7 and 5 assists, and Ball State has their biggest lead.
Ball State shooting 62% from the field, as opposed to Akron's 34, a little under 35%.
Grande into the lane, gives up Jose!
That's hard to guard. That is hard to guard.
A 15-0 run by Ball State. 2 minutes to go into the locker room, and a timeout to Jody Kest of Akron.